Impressive.
And there's our first glance at Flats.
Yes. Indeed.
So I was very excited to see your reaction to this because I wanted to have this sort of build up to Flats, like this dark, undulating shape in the background. Like, what am I looking at? What is this thing? Also, in case you're curious, the voice of Flats is Derek from Dagra.
Yes, indeed. I think that's what I'm more focused on in my reaction. But like, it was an interesting character design, definitely. Like, and it's like with the vibe of Flats gave me a Jabba the Hutt sort of vibe. Because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we've got the clangers being trafficked and all that stuff. Like, as you can tell, like this is that sort of big gangstery sort of character. Like, I do like it.
Yeah. I was trying to give Flats sort of a bit of a New York sort of voice, and speaking of Stuart Little, I actually wanted him to sound a bit like Smokey.
Oh yeah.
And fun fact, instead of Derek, I was actually going to have Kage voicing Flats.
Oh.
Yeah, but I asked him if he wanted to take part, but he sort of declined, and in his own words, he said, No. I may be a good artist, but I'm a terrible voice actor. I'm sorry. So.
Yeah, that sounds like Kage. But I can understand that.
Yeah, so I asked around, and Derek agreed to voice Flats for me.
Yeah, I think he did good, and he has a lot of lines to do too, so that was good of him.
Yeah. Also, I happened to make his voice sound a bit more intimidating. I just pitched it down to make it sound more scary and such.
Yeah.
Also, one last detail before I forget. That creepy music playing in the background is from Annihilation when Natalie Portman discovers the alien in the lighthouse basement.
Oh, nice touch.
Yeah, I figured I wanted to have something like twisted and alien for this scene, so yeah, used it here.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them to me.
And blimey, smaller than I thought.
Yes, indeed. I do like all the echoey sound effects because it really gives that sort of space station feel, which is cool.
Yeah. So, in case any of you are curious about Ocula's design, I actually based him off the face of a mantis shrimp.
Ah,
You know, just
okay.
this strange shape with big bulging eyes and...
Ah, yes, I see. I've seen mantis shrimp before, but that's a really nice picture.
So yeah, I figured, the big bulging eyes realistically would be impractical, but in space, sky's the limit, so it's bound to happen somewhere.
I command you to, although I don't recall you visiting here.
Is that Flats?
Nope. That's his snidey butt kisser, Ocula.
Well, he's handsome, I'll give him that.
Be silent in my presence. Boss will be pleased to see you on your knees. Now then, Guile, Nash.
Oh my god, they're hideous! So yeah, this is Guile and Nash, Flats' guard dogs.
Yeah. Quick question about Ocula, because of the voice, is Ocula an alien or a robot?
He's an alien, yeah.
Okay, because I thought he was a robot when I first watched it.
Or is he? You never know. Maybe he's a cyborg.
Maybe.
So yeah, Guile and Nash are also based off a sea creature. They're based off a telescope fish. Because I saw their image one day on the internet, and I thought, oh my god, is that the head of some freaky monster? But no, it's a fish, and once again, if you cast your eyes to the art gallery, I can share the images.
Might have seen one of these. Oh no, I haven't seen one of these. Jeez, that's a good picture.
So yeah, you can understand how I could easily see that as the face of some horrific thing on a spindly
Oh yeah.
neck. So yeah, I figured I've got to visualize this somehow. So yeah, we get to see them from the side as well. Also, fun fact, in this scene, I actually made a bit of a design error when I was doing their side references. Because originally the only way you could tell Guile and Nash apart was their collars, but when I was designing their eyes, I accidentally filled in Nash's eyes cream-colored and made the pupil itself purple, and I was like, oh crap, I got the colors wrong. Oh, wait a minute. That could be another way to tell them apart. Okay, I'll keep that in for Nash, and Guile can have the original colors that I had in mind. Because
in the last shot, they both have purple eyes, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In the last shot, they both had purple eyes, but in every scene after that, Nash has cream-colored eyes, but Guile has purple eyes. So I figured it would be a good way to tell them apart, like Flotsam and Jetsam from Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Also, we got the music in the background is from Fox and the Hound when Chief wakes up and discovers Todd on their property.
Yes, that is a rather reoccurring soundtrack in the FPBBS theory. Well, the season 2's stuff, anyway.
Yeah, this was yet another attempt at me trying to jump scare you with them popping up on screen.
When I first react to these, my brain is just trying to take everything in, but it's thinking so much that I don't get jump scared because I'm just taking it all the information in.
So yeah.
They are little hounds, you moron. They'll keep you from escaping. Now follow me.
Admittedly, when I first saw this, I didn't catch on to what was going on. I thought we were just seeing a scene of them just looking around, and then later I was like, oh wait, of course, I understand what that was about.
Yeah, because in the audio tellings, I made it clear that the rest of the team are invisible and are literally just behind them, so Guile and Nash can clearly sense and smell something there, but they can't see anyone there, so they're like, what? I swear there's somebody here. But then they get called upon by Ocula, and so they get focus on Tara and co, while the rest of the team behind them sneak in. So yeah. Also, Guile and Nash's growling sound effects, they're kind of a mix of sound effects I found and me doing my best xenomorph impressions.
That's fair.
Because I figured they would have sort of raspy, growling sound effects, like at the back of the throat and such.
Why is it whenever I'm having fun, it's wrong?
Just do what he says. Stick to the plan.
That line where Squidward says that, is that because he was laughing at Ocula and then he got told off? Is that what it's referencing? Or...
Yeah, I figured Squidward's questioning, like, why do I put myself in these situations? But I figured I had to find a line that fit the situation, so it took a while to find that one in particular.
I see. Okay, cool.
So yeah, because I've made a rule for myself, don't use AI voices for Squidward and Twilight in this, because people can be a bit on the fence when it comes to this sort of thing online. That was me, Twilight. Sorry.
Be quiet. We can't afford to be caught here.
And yes, there they are, right behind. So yeah, I figured I'd have to show what was going on. Like, oh, so that's what Guile and Nash were sensing. It was the rest of the team behind them, but of course they couldn't see them.
Yeah, definitely. That's because I hadn't seen... The last time I listened to Chapter 5's audio telling was when I first reacted to it. So I watched this again without having re-listened for the pure experience again, you know?
Yeah.
So that was good to show. Because it's like, of course, I see what was going on now.
Yeah. It all comes together when the chapter is finalized.
Yes.
Now where are those clangers?
Wait, what's that weird whistling noise?
It's them! In there!
And there's the infamous shot from the teaser trailer.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, all these creatures are from the Clanger series in one way or another.
Okay, I did wonder.
Yeah. And in case some of you are more familiar with the reboot Clangers from quite a few years ago, I had to include some details from that as well. Like, if you look to the left side of the cage and you see the one in the middle there, that's actually meant to be one of the singing flowers from the rebooted Clangers show.
Okay.
Because
I did look at that and I was like, what is that little pumpkin-headed thing?
Yeah, because I figured if people are going to be more familiar with the reboot series than the original, I figured I'd include some details from that as well.
Yeah, nice touch.
So yeah.
They're amazing. What are they?
Clangers?
So yeah, now for some of the more depressing shots I had to do for this chapter.
But it all works out.
Yeah. All these images, despite their depressing nature, I thought were pretty good. The only one that I'm embarrassed about is this first one with the clangers, because if you look at the clanger who's got his hands pressed up against the glass, you'll quickly notice I forgot to draw this one's ears.
I think that's easily, well, now that you've pointed it out, but I never noticed the first time.
Yeah.
I imagine maybe they were, like, behind, if you could say that.
Yeah, but speaking of which, I like joking with myself that, oh god, why does this one not have any ears? What have they been subjecting these clangers to? Was this a punishment? Is that why he doesn't have any ears? Like,
The saddest clanger in the place. Ears tape.
But I quickly fixed that mistake with every other shot of the clangers you see in future shots.
Froglets. Sky moose. Iron chicken. What? Even soup dragons.
This is the most depressing pic I made of Mother Soup Dragon and Baby Dragon in separate cages.
Ah. Well done, though.
Yeah. Because gotta implement that this is a terrible situation they're all in and we gotta get them out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's the thing. You need the dark stuff to add drama. And as your description says, the stakes need to be high. Yeah.
So I think it's important to bring up that my ideas for Chapter 5 of Big Blue Spaceship, they were all thought up before the release of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, so if you happen to see similarities to Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with this chapter, I don't blame you, because, yeah, Marvel beat me to it.
Yeah, I've like, that is totally fair, because it's like, I didn't think about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 when I saw it, so there's that. It's like one of my projects. I thought about, this isn't really the place to talk about it, but I thought about doing audio tellings of my comic series. Do you remember that one I spoke about?
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, and there's something in it that I thought of long before Hish's Villain Pub, shall we say. And if I brought it out now, people would say, oh, this is from that. It's like, no, I beat them to it ages ago.
Yeah.
No.
We gotta hurry. There's only so many of these chapters left. We gotta hurry before people start drawing comparisons to other stuff.
I know.
Yeah.